Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us on our first podcast as Wilson University. My name is Kyle Noland. I am the Associated Student Body President.
And I am Clint Kent, the Vice President.
We're excited to have you join us. This being our first one, we're trying to increase the visibility of the Associated Student Body President and Vice President. Number one, in increasing our visibility, we increase our interaction. And I think that's a key as far as trying to build community. As a student body, I think it's important that we really promote the unity within the university. There's a lot of skills and talents and abilities that have enrolled within the university, different certificate programs, different degree programs. And I think unlocking the potential within the student body is made available through our interaction. So I think this would be a great way to kickstart it.
Absolutely.
Through introducing ourselves. So do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. So like I said, my name is Kyle Noland. I currently attend church in Sacramento, California under the pastorship of Miles Young. I'm actually a product of Hope Corps. I went to Hope Corps. I actually graduated Hope Corps back in 2012. It was 2012. So I was there. I did my ITWs. I did two at the time. They were offering New York and they were offering Roatan, and I was part of the first trip to Roatan.
Oh, wow.
It was exciting. But yeah, so I was a product of Hope Corps, took my studies very seriously, was very excited about what I learned, and my desire to give back never left. I proceeded to participate in 2 Philippine ITWs. I went to an ITW in Italy.
Wow.
I even went back to Roatan after with a different organization within the fellowship, and it's truly been an incredible ride and experience and benefiting to my ministry and my life. But at some point, once I graduated Hope Corps, I knew there was more.
Yeah,
I knew that I could further my studies. I knew that I could develop further. And that's where Wilson University came in. So right after I got done with my Hope Corps studies, I jumped into Wilson University and have been here ever since. It is an incredible program. I'm currently in the Bachelor's of Christian Ministries, and I think, Clint, you are as well.
I am.
So the academic rigor is intentional. We develop ourselves in the process. The information is beneficial right away. I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, but I know that through our classes, a lot of the material has been both timely and useful.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
I have a unique situation in where I'm also involved in the deaf ministry, and so a lot of the information that I'm gleaning, I am able to then turn into lessons and teach a community that's largely been forgotten.
Right.
And this material, this information, the university has been incredible, has been beneficial. And I don't think I speak for just myself or just for Clint, but I think everybody that's involved, whether you're in a certificate program or not, this truly is beneficial. So that's a little bit about myself. I was very blessed to be elected by all of you, the student body.
Yes.
The competition was with some very capable gentlemen, and I'm very thankful that the student body saw fit to elect me as the president. So,
I received the Holy Ghost when I was 16 years old, and I knew God wanted me to further my education, but of course, life happened and things take place, jobs, and so it took a long time. However, Wilson University just really jumped out at me in 2021 when I decided to further my education. And I tell you what, it's been such a blessing.
yeah.
Of course, the bachelor program that I'm in, that Kyle already mentioned, it's rigorous work. And it is very timely, and God works through it.
Absolutely.
It's not just you're learning these facts and figures and dates and things of that nature, but God actually speaks, and I know we know that happens. I mean, but it's just such a blessing to know that you're obtaining a degree, you're obtaining a certificate, you are being ministered to
Absolutely.
through the curriculum, and as Kyle mentioned, then you can in turn use that same material to bless and to minister to others. And it's just been such a great experience. I have 2 children. One is graduating Hope Corps this year.
Congratulations.
In September, thank you. And I have a daughter that is, she's enrolled into Hope Corps, and so now I plan on doing the opposite.
Right.
And when I graduate, I plan on joining Hope Corps. I'll probably be the oldest one there, but I plan on joining Hope Corps and experiencing that aspect of it also.
I think I think the consensus right now, as far as I'm aware, the oldest graduate of Hope Corps was in about her late 70s, early 80s. So
I should be safe. I'm not far away.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
That's awesome. And I think you nailed it. The access to the material is great, but I think I can speak for what I do on outside of interpreter or outside of the universities. I do sign language interpreting. So, and a unique part of what I do outside of schooling is interacting with other institutions of learning.
Right.
And oftentimes that comes in institutions of higher learning. I've worked at different universities, whether they be community college or because I'm from the state of California, within the UC and CSU systems.
Yeah.
So I've seen some of the highest learning, and I can say without much bias because of my experience, that Wilson University offers not only academic rigor, but they offer a very unique opportunity in what they identify as the practicum. The practicum is neat because you're not just studying without, it's basically baked into the curriculum with Wilson University. And that's what's so beautiful is you learn the material and now you're expected to present the material.
Right.
And in that presentation, you are now you're owning the knowledge.
Yes.
And I think that model is truly, number one, beneficial for us as students, but truly beneficial for life. We're familiar with the doctrine.
Right.
We're familiar with being steeped in scriptural truths. We're not being swayed by the false winds of doctrine.
Right.
We're not being swayed by the fads of new ideas or new unproven doctrines, if I could say that.
Right.
And Wilson University, it lays a great groundwork for that, whether you take the bachelor's degree like Clint and myself, or if you take a certificate program. Hope Corps is partnering with Wilson University with their Apostolic Foundation certificate.
Yes.
So if you don't do an ITW and you just take that Apostolic Foundation certificate, you're getting great knowledge. You take the Christian Counseling certificate, great knowledge. You're taking LEAP courses, incredible, useful, great knowledge. And if you want to join the degree program, and I suggest it, I say that it is both extremely beneficial and usable material for ministry. I've been able to preach and teach off of what has been learned and benefited, and I've grown quite a bit from the material. So I think I can speak for Clint and myself in that capacity.
Absolutely.
Did you want to add anything to that?
Well, I also wanted to piggyback off of what you said. We understand and know, not in all cases, but in some cases, some venues of higher education are places of indoctrination. And I have told my children and the young people that I come in contact with at church that before you decide to go to a mainstream university, maybe a secular college, I say do this first. Now, obviously, most everyone who delves into these degrees and certificate programs, they have great foundational teaching.
Yeah.
Great pastor, great ministry at their church that teaches these foundational doctrines. However, it's different. You dive deeper, and you dive real deep in there, and you get to understand. Maybe your pastor has worked on a surface level just to try to minister to the congregation or all levels.
Right.
But Wilson dives deep, and you get in there and you learn those foundational principles so that should you go to a secular college, you cannot be swayed.
Right.
You will be firm, standing upon the rock of the foundation of the apostolic doctrine. And that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. If I can go ahead and throw this in there, one of the coolest part, in my opinion, about being a Wilson University student is the online aspect of it.
Yes.
So, fun fact, and some of you may know, some of you don't, but I, as recently as October, spent some time on a tour in Turkey.
Really?
Turkey and Germany.
Wow.
And so I spent quite a bit of time in another time zone, spending most of my day traveling, and it was a wonderful trip. It was the 7 churches of Asia Minor.
Oh, wow.
It was incredible. So we did all of that, and we did the tour. But the unique part of that was because I had access to my schooling, there was no break in my education through that process. I was able to log in and do my threaded discussions from the hotel room. I even, I think I sent some of the professors in the university some pictures I was doing a threaded discussion with my laptop, and I had it on the Bosphorus Strait. So I'm on the European side, and you could see across the Bosphorus Strait into the Asian side, because it's across 2 continents.
Right.
So I'm taking this picture, and I'm able to do this threaded discussion, and that flexibility is one of the most unique aspects, I think, that allows us to be where you're at, where I'm at, whether we're traveling. And I know many of the student body, a lot of you are employed in certain capacities. Some of you are involved in ministries in certain capacities. This university allows you the flexibility. And we totally sound like fanboys right now, but that's okay.
Yes, well, we are.
Yeah, it's second to none, and I think it's incredible. But in all that, with the certificate programs, the degrees, I think what you said was beautiful in that once you have the foundation, you can then proceed. Even if you don't pursue a degree in Christian ministries, you take some, and maybe they may transfer as elective courses to whatever institution you go to, but you now have some biblical doctrine that you're founded upon.
Right. And it is truly second to none.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The quality of the education is absolutely amazing. And if I can throw my little 2 cents in there.
Go for it.
I'm in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Wilson, of course, is in Elk Grove, California, and the time zone is about 3 hours difference. But still, it works.
Yes.
It works great. We've been on vacations. I'm employed, and so we have a busy life.
Yeah.
But we're able to get it all in there.
Yeah.
And take care of it because of the flexibility. And let me throw this out there too. If you are concerned about your professors being all mean and difficult with you, we can attest that they will work with you. If you are busy and you kind of fall behind a little bit on some of your assignments, just call them or text them or email them, let them know. They're not just there to bash you over the head with a scroll, so to speak, and they'll work with you.
Yeah.
So if you're concerned about being in college and you just don't have time, hey, take it from me. I mean, I work a full-time job in ministry and have family and go to college at the same time, and it's tough.
Yeah.
But it works, it's doable, and it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yes.
If I can also, so now that we've introduced ourselves.
Yeah.
So I know many, by the nature of the university, a lot of us are so disconnected. So now that we've introduced ourselves, you kind of get a feel of who we are. This connection, I think, is important. We have a speaker series coming up in November.
Yes.
The speaker will be announced when the time is closer. Myself and Clint, we are working on finding a speaker for that. So look forward for the dates. They'll be announced on social media. The speaker series are unique in that it'll answer specific topics. The speaker series is very unique in that right now it's open to the public. So we're offering this to both students, and the students have that unique ability to be able to kind of influence the topic of choice and whatnot. But we're also we're allowing the general public, if I can say that, to have access to some of the academic material that Wilson University has to offer. And if you've missed our last speaker series we had, it was about a month ago.
Right.
And it was an incredible speaker series. Dr. Jesse Galindo, very talented, very knowledgeable individual, answered a lot of very pressing questions, and actually I learned quite a bit from that speaker series.
Yes.
About understanding the terms that we need to use as far as kingdom culture or kingdom mindedness, or understanding how to reach a different culture. Some of those things were incredible. If you would like, if you're listening to this podcast and you would like that link, you can email asb@wilsonu.org, and we will email you the link of that speaker series. But for this podcast and the future podcast, it's going to take a little bit of a different tact or a different approach, if I can say, than did do the speaker series. The speaker series, like I said, is very much more specialized in approach. We're bringing in a professional that's going to answer specific questions or topics. And then the unique aspect of the speaker series is we open up for questions, and we allow the participants to, whether you're watching or if you don't have your camera on and you just want to type your question, we allow you to ask questions. But for this, we're hoping to do at least once a week podcast. We're going to aim to do that. Once a week podcast where we interview people and we are able to present you with some knowledge that is maybe more general in approach, but also still beneficial for both the students and maybe even people who are curious. Just like Clint and myself, we took some time to explain the beauties of the university. because not everyone who's going to listen to this podcast, God willing, is maybe not a part of the university, but now because they've got some more information, they're interested.
Right.
So these podcasts going forward, I think is going to be exciting.
Oh, yes.
Keep an eye out on different social media platforms, and we'll be advertising, a certain podcast coming up or speaker series coming up with a different speaker. Keep an eye out for that. I think for this first one, we wanted to get the ball rolling with a simple introduction, so we're all on the same page. If you have anything you want to mention, any feedback, please do email asb@wilsonu.org. Both Clint and myself have access to that email. So we'll be able to see maybe some feedback, maybe some ideas, maybe a topic of preference that you're really wanting to see discussed. Whatever it may be, please email us to that. That is your way, as both the student body and the general public, to get a hold of both Clint and myself through the university. So is there anything else you want to add?
Well, I want to just mention real quick about Challenge Week.
Oh, that's right.
That's coming up at the end of this month, September the 20th, 21st, and 22nd in Birmingham, Alabama at, it's New Life.
New Life, yeah.
New Life, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that is where this is the first.
Correct.
The first Challenge Week necessarily where there's going to be graduation. So this is where Hope Corps will graduate, and also Wilson University will graduate. So this is something new, something different. It's going to be special.
Absolutely.
There's going to be breakout sessions. There's going to be services. There's going to be a gala. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing.
Absolutely.
I hope that you're able to make it.
Absolutely. Well, if you're not able to make it to that, hopefully we'll see you in the future. Both Clint and myself hope to meet you all, hope to get to know you all, and looking forward to some of the emails that we're going to be getting from you with maybe some topics, some ideas on what to do moving forward. And then God bless. We're excited, and God bless.